I agree with Cheryl. I agree with the trade. I love Cheryl. She's my coach here. And you know what? That's just going to be worse for Team Clark because now we got more chemistry on our side. We got more synergy. We know what we expect from each other. So that was a bad move on your part, Caitlin. We're taking you down.
Oh, the coaches maybe is going to be the X factor.
Napheesa Collier just said it, and now the whole league is talking. In a moment that was supposed to be lighthearted, the Team USA star dropped a comment about Caitlin Clark that fans are calling a direct shot. When asked about her All-Star Game approach, Collier smirked and said, "Oh, we've got a plan. Don't worry, we've all seen the film. Just one line, but it hit hard. Was it just playful trash talk, or something more calculated? Is this the latest sign that veterans are uniting to shut down Clark? Even in a game meant to celebrate the league's best. Today, we're breaking down the strategy, the subtle shade, and why this so-called anti-Clark plan has fans calling out the WNBA's biggest names."
Clark should have a very fast team there. When you look at it, I mean, Williams is really fast for a forward. Obviously, Kelsey's very fast. Citron's very fast. Jackie Young's one of my favorite players. Iriafin, a rookie, can get up and down the floor. Ionescu can help spread the floor along with Kelsey and Clark, so they can really shoot.
The WNBA All-Star Game is supposed to be a celebration, a pause from the pressure, a weekend where the league's brightest stars come together to put on a show, not to prove a point. But this year, something feels different. It feels tense. It feels personal. Because Caitlin Clark isn't just any rookie stepping into that spotlight. She's the face of a revolution. The biggest name in the league. The player who's filling arenas, breaking ratings, and drawing headlines night after night. And yet, she wasn't named to Team USA. Instead, she was placed on the opposing roster, Team WNBA. To many fans, that wasn't just a decision, it was a message. So now they're asking, is the league truly embracing Caitlin Clark, or quietly keeping her at arm's length? Now add Napheesa Collier's comment into the mix, and suddenly, the All-Star Game isn't just a showcase, it's a story. It's no longer about highlights and halftime laughs. It's about tone. It's about tension. Because when a respected veteran like Collier, an Olympian, a face of Team USA, casually says, "We've got a plan. Don't worry, we've all seen the film," she's not just talking about a rookie. She's talking about the rookie who has dominated headlines and shifted the spotlight. And that one line, it flipped a switch. Fans immediately branded it the anti-Clark strategy. Not because it was aggressive, but because it confirmed what so many already sensed. Caitlin Clark isn't being treated like just another player. Every move she makes is watched. Every word about her is weighed. Every defender guarding her seems to carry a chip. She's not just playing basketball, she's playing through a wall of resistance. On the court, in the media, even in moments that are supposed to be fun and celebratory. And when even All-Star Weekend starts to feel like a proving ground, you know something much deeper is happening beneath the surface. And this isn't new. From the moment Caitlin Clark stepped onto a WNBA court, she's been under fire. Not just from defenders, but from an entire system that seems unsure how to handle her rise. She's been hit with flagrant fouls that barely drew whistles.
To make this big, you have to give me your #1 overall pick and your teammate, Aaliyah Boston.
Absolutely not. Not happening. Good try.
And a silent message that she hasn't earned it yet. Now, even during a weekend that's supposed to be lighthearted and celebratory, people are watching not for highlights, but for hostility. So when a respected star like Napheesa Collier jokes about having a plan for Clark, even with a laugh, it lands differently. It doesn't sound like playful banter. It sounds like another layer of the resistance Caitlin faces every single game. To many fans, the message was crystal clear. When the league's most respected veterans start crafting a game plan for a rookie in an exhibition game.
Traded the coach.
Courtney Williams, she picks her UConn alum, Brianna Stewart, Paige Becker.
It doesn't look like strategy, it looks like resentment. Not because Clark has done anything wrong, but because of what she represents. A shift in power, a shift in attention, a player who didn't climb the ladder the traditional way, but came in as a national sensation, and immediately became the league's biggest draw. For some, that's hard to accept, because Caitlin Clark isn't just bringing fans, she's challenging the old guard, forcing a new conversation about style, speed, visibility, and control, and that threatens the status quo. But not everyone sees it that way. Some fans, and even some players, say Collier's comments were nothing more than competitive fire. A little bit of playful edge before tip-off. After all, This is the WNBA's All-Star Weekend, and Clark has been at the center of the spotlight all season long. If veterans want to bring some extra intensity, shouldn't Clark be ready to answer the challenge? Isn't this exactly what it means to evolve from a college icon into a true professional, facing the best and proving you belong? So the question lingers in the air: was this gamesmanship, or gatekeeping, a joke, or a jab? And depending on who you ask, the answer says a lot more about the state of the league than it does about one comment.
This is it, bro. Like, it come down to Caitlyn, bro. It is what it is, man. Caitlyn, you gotta take a stand, man. You stand for something or you die. You'll fall for anything, man. Caitlyn Clark, you gotta take this, y'all, and it's plain and simple. Caitlyn Clark has to give the Indiana Fever an ultimatum. That's right. I've been disgusted all day about this piss poor, embarrassing performance from the players, and most of all, from this coaching staff. Stephanie White, I'll say it again, you are a pure bum of a coach. Trash.
Still, we can't ignore the bigger picture, the context that changes everything. Caitlyn Clark wasn't selected for Team USA, despite leading the league in popularity, media attention, and fan engagement. She's been critiqued more than celebrated by some of the league's loudest voices. And now, even in what's supposed to be a weekend of unity and fun, there's talk of game planning against her, a rookie. In an exhibition, that's not just competition anymore, it starts to feel like gatekeeping.
Watch a 19-point loss, Caitlyn Clark's return, in which, since this is a lady we're talking about, it looks like Stephanie White has spaded Caitlyn Clark, for lack of a better way of putting it. If it was a dude, I'd say neutered, but, you get my point. She has taken away Caitlyn Clark's greatest asset, which is the creator and instigator.
Like the league is drawing invisible lines, setting limits on how far, how fast, and how loud Clark is allowed to rise. And for a league that says it wants to grow, that sends a complicated message, the fans, they had plenty to say. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, it all exploded the moment Collier's comment hit the timeline. Some brushed it off as harmless, saying it was just a little all-star banter between competitors. But for others, it struck a nerve, a deeper frustration.
So I'm getting concerned. I'm getting concerned about Caitlyn Clark's future with the Indiana Fever, because it's not just that they're losing these games, it's the manner in which they're losing. It's the low shot attempts from Caitlyn Clark. It's the low usage from Caitlyn Clark. It's the having her in the corner, coming off these screens, getting the ball on the wing, and then her losing the basketball, keep getting the ball in these unfavorable positions. She is at her best when she's pushing it up the floor, coming off the screen with Aaliyah Boston. You're not even doing that anymore. It seems like the Indiana Fever aren't prioritizing Caitlyn Clark's growth as a player, but what they're prioritizing is the system of basketball that Stephanie White has ran throughout the entire.
They saw it as yet another subtle swipe, another example of the league refusing to fully embrace its brightest new star. One fan wrote bluntly, "They fear her." Simple as that. Another posted, "Veterans should lead, not try to break the ones coming up behind them." But maybe the most haunting words came from a longtime WNBA supporter, who said, "If they keep dimming her light, they'll kill the spark the league desperately needs." That one hit different, because love her or hate her, Caitlyn Clark is a spark. And the question is, will the league protect it, or slowly smother it, one subtle moment at a time? And here's the heart of it all, the issue no one can ignore anymore. This moment, this comment, this tension, it's not just about Napheesa Collier or Caitlyn Clark. It's about something much bigger.
Caitlyn Clark and Stephanie White clearly like and respect one another, right? But that doesn't mean they always see eye to eye. And I am beginning to suspect more and more that there's a bit of a divide between the way that they see the game and the way that they think the Indiana Fever should play. You can just hear what they have to say and connect the dots a little bit. Not to mention, it didn't go well against the Golden State Valkyries. That was obvious to everybody, of course.
A generational clash erupting inside the WNBA, the veterans who built the league through grit and tradition, and the new wave of stars who are changing everything with visibility, virality, and massive fan bases. It's the old school mentality versus the modern spotlight, the fight between humility and hype. And standing right in the center of that storm is Caitlyn Clark, young, confident, unapologetically loud, and followed by millions. But the real question now isn't about her jump shot or her defense. It's this: can the WNBA truly grow if it doesn't fully embrace its brightest star? Or will it keep her close enough to profit, but far enough to limit her power? Because when the All-Star Game, a moment meant for unity and joy, starts to feel like a battleground, you know there's something deeper beneath the surface. Caitlin Clark isn't just being guarded on the court, she's being tested. Not just for her talent, but for how much she's allowed to lead, to speak out, to shine. And if this so-called plan is about containing her fire rather than celebrating it, then fans have every right to push back. Because this isn't just about Napheesa Collier's one-liner, it's about why that single sentence hit so hard. In today's WNBA, every word about Caitlin Clark carries weight. It's not just banter, it's a mirror reflecting the pressure, the politics, and the power dynamics shaping the future of the league. And with millions watching this All-Star Game unfold, one thing's for sure: how Caitlin Clark is treated by teammates, opponents, coaches, and referees won't be forgotten. It will be remembered loudly.